Hello, it's me Saki. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna talk about how I survived the grad school. As I talked about my schedule in the previous video, I have a lot of classes in my grad school, and it took a lot of time to find my own pace and rhythm. And still, I sometimes have a lot on my table, but finally I'm getting used to manage my schedule and use my time on other things outside of the grad school, like YouTube, being a host of Clubhouse, and making a film. So yes, let's get started. I believe every grad school is so intense. I feel like I'm always swamped by work. So being productive and creative is sometimes hard for me under the circumstances of always having a lot on my table. But through my experience in this 1.5 years, I found it really important for me to understand what is going on in my head by writing out. The purposes of writing out are 1, to stay organized, and 2, to keep myself being creative. I know a lot of people recommend to write down to-dos, and I agree with it. I did it last year too. But adding to that, recently I started to write down all those small ideas or thoughts coming up to me on my phone. In organizing, it's really important to write everything down in one place. People who are not good at organizing or tend to use many notebooks and write down some ideas on a random notebook, which I used to do. But being disorganized in where you offload those ideas can potentially lead you to losing them. So I decided to write down any small idea or thought on my phone right after it's coming up to me. And then when I have a computer, I move them to Notion, which is a workspace app, so that I can look back to those small ideas when I want to create something. And for me, it's been the easiest way to keep being creative. Having said that, I love analog style, which is pen and paper, so I use this physical notebook to deepen those ideas or just writing down whatever I want. I am a very visual person, so writing or drawing down the process of my thought is a huge resource to bring greater clarity to what I have in my mind. For me, pen and paper are the best way to do it when there is a flow of ideas coming out of my head through my hand. I also have this journal notebook, but this is more about my personal feelings instead of the ideas or the works. I am 100% sure that I am not here without this, and I believe that your greatest source of support are the people in your cohort or in your department. I guess what you do in grad school are mostly very individual or isolating. Even in theater program where collaborating is part of the curriculum, you still might experience the feelings of isolation or loneliness because everybody has a different path and situation. For me, I am international, and I always have a fear of being kicked out of the country after graduating, and I always feel like I have to work harder than other people, which sometimes makes me very lonely. Besides, I had few professional experience before grad school and had few knowledge about American theater. I felt very ashamed of being in my cohort that has many people who already have a professional career. But this is exactly what I needed to learn from my friends. This is a grad school, so of course the teacher expects us to have a certain amount of knowledge about American theater, which I didn't have before. And in my experience, sometimes the classes went so fast so there were not space for questions. So I asked my friends what to see, what to know, what to read to get those knowledge. And I took a note about everything my friends said, read the books, researched about people, and cultivated my interests. I truly didn't like that I was in a conversation that I couldn't understand because of my limited knowledge. So I tried to push myself to get those knowledge and being in the deep conversation about theater. I think meeting people who have similar interests or goals to you is such a gift. So it's just simply great to know what I don't know from my friends. I feel so lucky for my friends in my cohort because not only they have helped me a lot, but also through the relationship with them, I've learned a lot about myself as well. Because we are in such an intense theater program, we always talk about our work and the industry, which have shaped my definition of being professional actor or director in this country. And by discussing our works, I found what makes me, what my uniqueness is, what my strength is. I've learned a lot about how people work and how people think, which I believe makes my grad school experience richer. Also, they may become your future collaborators, so building a great relationship with other people in your cohort might be a huge step on your process in the future. Perfectionism isn't all bad, but if you're a person who cannot move on until you create a perfect plan in your head, I would recommend you to do this. I was perfectionism and some of the elements still exist in me. But after giving up perfectionism, I've been more creative, more challenging, and make the best of grad school. I used to have a lot of fear and anxiety about my work being judged, and I couldn't move until I was sure it would be good. But people don't learn from nothing. Mistakes and challenges make you better. Once I noticed that, I started regarding my grad school as a place that I can make mistakes as much as I can. Because I am in grad school, I am here to learn. Perfectionism might make you being unable to allow yourself to make mistakes, which is absolutely critical to the learning process. Especially in grad school, you always have a lot on your table, so it's almost impossible to make everything perfect. So I shifted my mind from doing everything perfect to taking a challenge to learn. Working a lot of hours with a fear of the future career, it's easy to burn out. So it's really important to find something that could give you a welcomed escape from grad school. For me, it's cooking. I sometimes go to a farmer's market, buy a bunch of vegetables, and being in a kitchen for 5 hours on weekends. One of the reasons is to prepare the food for next week, but more than that, cooking itself is my healing. When I even don't have time for cooking on weekends, I just order some great foods for myself. I know the quality of life, especially healthy and balanced diet, really affects me. And I know I feel miserable when it's low. So my priority where to spend my money is definitely food, to keep myself healthy both mentally and physically. I regard investing self-care as a part of your study, and it really depends on each. So you have to listen to your body, learn yourself, and find your routine. And I think grad school is a place to find them, because being in grad school means that you kind of decided to be professional in that field, which means what you study right now might be a lifetime relationship with you. So it is a great chance to learn how to take a balance to continue what you do. So I hope this video is helpful for you, and if you like this video, please thumbs up and leave some comments. In this channel, I'm going to share my story in New York City, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in next video. Bye!